Okay, just a brief note. I'm trying to kind of keep up a sort of a journal, on the fasting month, and this is the seventh. This is the first quarter of the moon, the seventh day, and so see, we've been at it now for I think 7 days, and so how is that going along? Well, what's happening is that everything is kind of reversing, and um, so normally, you have a full day doing stuff and things, and then at night you rest, and maybe during that rest, you get a little cleaned up, and maybe you have a kind of inner thing or some kind of little thing, a dream, whatever, kind of inner thing. Um, but but during the fast, it kind of switches around so that the days are very short in terms of length of time of fasting. Fasting is quite long and will be for the next 7 years during the fasting months. Where I am because the sun, um, the dawn starts at shortly after 4, and the sun sets at shortly a few about 20 minutes after 8. So it's 16 hours. So 16 hours of fast, um, and then 8 hours of you know up and about and doing things like I'm doing now. So it's kind of but so what happens is it reverses, and so there's a lot of processing that starts going on once you're kind of cleaned up a little bit. And, you kind of maybe even making mistakes how you perceive or understand something or how you interface with things. You know, Stuff and things, and so you start getting cleaned up, and then as the processing kind of amps up a bit, starts to get pretty constant, and you're continually kind of inwardly processing, and so that goes on. And it's funny because at first you go like, well, what am I going to do? But then after a few days, like right now, I'm thinking, wow, there's so much processing, there's so much I have to get, has to go on, and I want to get the full benefit of the fasting month, so I just better really pay attention because so really how that works is so that that's the main event of the day is the processing. Usually conscious, and maybe you might kind of lose conscious for a while, lay down or something, rest, but basically um, quiet and paying attention to what's going on within your own being. You're witnessing it and so on, and then you take a break after 16 hours, and play around and talk to your friends, and have some coffee and stuff. Do a couple of things, maybe take care of something that has to be taken care of. Uh, you know, Pay a bill, whatever, some little thing, get some groceries. Then back at it again. And you might think, oh my gosh, 16 hours, boy, that would be. But no, it's like it goes right by because here's the secret of it. The secret of it is when you're in your when you're kind of located in your inner being, then there's no time. So you don't have a sense of time. It's just like, here we go, we're doing it, and it just keeps going. And then it's over. And it's almost like a moment. I mean, it's not like a moment because it's not that intense, but it's sort of like that, sort of a moment. Then so that's what's happening. It's heating up a bit, as I say, cooling down. I don't probably be a more appropriate word. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm eager to learn the new things that you know, and the inner life is starting to kind of perk up a bit. I'm not going to talk much about that because those of you who have an inner life know what I mean. Those of you who don't will be easily misinformed by words I might use and things I might say. For instance, just for example, I might say, well, I was seeing this and watching, kind of like having a real experience, but in a different place. And you might think, oh yeah, I see it all in colors like in the movies, and there's music and sound and everything. But my inner processes, even after all these years, still aren't quite. Um, they're kind of. Sometimes I don't get the sound. I see the pictures, but I don't get the sound. You don't have to be kind of careful. I kind of see, in accordance with my own capacity, which is gradually, getting a little better. But there are people who have great inner capacity. Some of the kids that have the gift, it's like they watch movies all night, inwardly, but it's more difficult for me being a person, I started out kind of being in pretty rough shape, and still, it's getting better over the years. Gradually, it gets better. That's what happens. So here we are, and I'm eager to get on back with the rest of it. And that's pretty much how the changes are taking place. Kind of adjusting, not really having a problem with not eating or drinking or smoking or doing anything like that, or watching movies, because there's so little time. It's as if I'm at a conference, and you have your room and everything you go to after the conference, but really, if the conference is good enough and there's enough going on, you just barely have time to catch a few hours sleep, and then you're off back to the conference. In this case, as I say, it's the opposite. So you just have a few hours to be awake in the world, and in your everyday life, and then it's back to the inner life. Okay, there you go.